YouTube, welcome back to Tamara's Tarot and Oracle channel. Today I wanted to do a quick show and tell video of the 3 decks that I am currently using. They are in no particular order. The first deck that I'm going to be sharing with everyone is the Tarot of the Golden Wheel. Now this deck is a new release from this year, 2019, and it came for me in the mail Friday, and today's Sunday, so I've just only started using it and I really like it a lot. It comes in a really sturdy 2-part box. This is what the inside looks like. This is what the outside looks like. This is a picture of the beautiful Queen of Cups and then the sides. This is from the 2 of Cups image, and then on the other side the 3 of Cups image. The design that you see over here, is the design that's on the back of the cards that look like that. So that's to depict the golden wheel. It comes with a little book, really nicely binded. The artist's name is Mila Lysenko. I believe she's Russian. This deck is based on Slavic fairy tale art, or Slavic fairy tales rather, and it's a really pretty, really feminine feeling tarot deck that when I saw the images online really appealed to me. So this little book here is just your typical little white book in a sense, but it's just a little bit of a nicer production. And the majors are slightly longer than, say, the minors, which is about average to be expected. And yeah, so I mean, it's a really concise little book, introduction. It just goes straight into the major arcana, minor arcana. There is, I believe, one spread in the back that looks like that, which involves 8 cards, and I like that it's not too many cards. Typically I use about 6 cards when I do like a bigger reading, but typically like anywhere from 1 to 3 or 4 cards, like on a daily basis. And then a little bit about the artist. So the cards are a little longer than standard tarot size. I do apologize. I have 3 decks here and not a single one of them is an average size tarot deck. And I didn't have another deck with me that is of an average size. So bear with me here, but this one is longer. So I do have fairly big hands. I can shuffle, and can get my hands around that. But I think for people with smaller hands might have difficulty. It is a narrower deck. So it's just a little bit of a different shape, just more of a rectangle. It's borderless, as you can see, and then it has its titles, very clean looking at the very bottom. The backing, as I just showed you before, looks like that. It's okay, it's not my favorite. And it's a pretty sturdy cardstock. It's a bit thicker, but it does shuffle really nicely, and it fans out really nicely without being too slippery. So that is definitely a plus. Here are some of the images. The 4 of Cups, the 6 of Wands. Sorry if there's a bit of a glare. The 5 of Cups. My camera's not really doing it any justice, but the colors are so pretty. So the artist uses watercolor as her medium. And I found the way she drew the people to be very appealing. And the colors, also very appealing. And so this is the Ace of Wands. She uses a rooster. This is very nature-based. It's based on the seasons, based on the, actually, let me just read you a quick little blurb. Tarot of the Golden Wheel was created on the basis of the Rider-Waite system following classical interpretations of the cards, but considering them through the prism of Slavic culture and traditions. Dating back thousands of years, the spinning wheel has been a sacred symbol throughout Eastern Europe and Russia. In mythology, the wheel symbolizes motion, infinity, never-ending cycles of life in the four seasons. In folklore, the wheel is associated with the struggle between good and evil, and it is a universal symbol of karmic justice. In pagan beliefs, the golden wheel signifies the sun that brings the spirit and essence of life, productivity, prosperity, and contentment. And then it goes on a little bit more than that, but that's just an idea. And this is the Knight of Cups. The Sun card, no creepy baby. I like this one a lot, the Seven of Cups. And I mean, it has like a very smooth kind of satiny finish. It's not matte. There is a slight sheen to it, but they're not glossy. I wouldn't consider them glossy. So, Magician, the Tower, and they read really nicely, I have to say. When you lay them out side by side, it looks very pretty. I love this Hermit. Is that not the best looking Hermit you've ever seen? He's a handsome dude. Four of Swords. I love this Moon card. This might be one of the most beautiful moon cards I've ever seen. The Two of Wheels. So Pentacles has been renamed to Wheels, but Wands and Cups and Swords remain the same. And it really doesn't deviate from the Rider-Waite. As it mentioned, it does follow it. And I love this High Priestess. It's hard to see. I think it's backwards in the camera. Three of Wheels. Look at her. Look at the costumes. It's really pretty. It's different to any deck that I have. She is actually one of the main reasons why I bought this deck. I think she is unbelievably stunning. She is the Queen of Wands. To me, it's really important how courts are depicted in a tarot deck. So I really like the way they're depicted in this one. And the Ten of Swords. Okay, so Five of Wands. So I'm not going to show each and every one. There's the lovely, we'll end it at that, the Queen of Cups, which matches, sorry, that's my dog, on the cover of the box. So that is the Tarot of the Golden Wheel. So like I said, I just received it and only started using it. So far, so good. It looks really pretty. I'll just show you just some cards side by side so you can get an idea. Like, it's just this flawless, this seamless story. Really pretty. Recommend. It's a US Games new release and it's very reasonably priced. It's mass marketed, so it's not like any kind of self-published, that kind of thing. Independent deck, indie deck. Next one I have, the box got utterly annihilated in the mail, which is fine. It wasn't the prettiest looking box anyway. And I have actually ordered a backup copy, and it is of the Fairy Tarot by Natalie. Sorry, she's from Paris, Natalie Hertz, and she is the creator of the Tarot of the Vampire Tarot, and the Fantastical Creatures Tarot, which is out of print and pretty pricey, but I will get my hands on it one day. The vampire one is a little bit gruesome. I don't know. I find some images really appealing, but we'll see. I'm a little bit on the fence with that one. This one, I love the colors. That's what initially caught my attention. It's very glossy, like plasticized, laminated, whatever you want to call it. And I actually like that. I know a lot of people in the tarot community don't. I actually get frustrated with matte card stock because although it's really like luxurious to the touch, it just doesn't fan nicely and it kind of stays stuck and it's hard to maneuver. And I love how easy these are. They're not overly slippery. Like, I don't have an issue with that. I love the fact that they're more of a square shape, so they fit nicely into the palm of my hand. Not like the palm, but I mean, they're just nice, like, and they're a lightweight feel, and I feel like these are going to go with me everywhere. Like, they're bigger than pocket size, but anyway, so these are the backs. They are glossy, as I mentioned, but I love that, and they shuffle really nicely. They're a bit thinner, And I just think they're great. They're just a great size. So what I really liked, as I said just now, was the colors. The colors are really vibrant, and that speaks to my intuition a lot. Oh my gosh, I love it. So it comes with a little white book. It's actually really nicely written. That's the image of the star. One of the reasons why I just became enamored with this deck. I adore this deck right off the bat. This is another one. This was the second one that I received the same day on Friday when I received the Tarot of the Golden Wheel. And I feel like my head is cut off this entire video. Sorry if it was. As long as you're seeing the cards, that's the most important part. So yeah, so this is the little white book. I find it's just very wordy. And so I think if you're kind of starting out, you might get a little bit overwhelmed by all the words. And some of the meanings are not stray. Like, I mean, it pretty much follows Rider-Waite with the imagery in that. I mean, there are sort of a little bit of some differences, but so let's just see here. So dedication, introduction, and then goes like the introduction is not very big. And then it goes straight into the major arcana, and then minor arcana. All the suits retain their respective names. And let's just see here. And then there are examples of card spreads. So there's a 3-card spread and a 4-card spread and a Venus spread, which is a 5-card spread. Okay, so 3 examples of different spreads. I'll give you an example of how it reads. Okay, let's find a major arcana maybe. A star. Perfect. This is the star. And it says, where does it go? Okay. This charming young fairy with her gentle face is dressed in white as a symbol of purity, perfection, light, and wisdom. She provides hope, guidance, and inspiration as she shows us how to become confident and virtuous. She helps us to be receptive to spirituality. The large shooting star above her is the symbol of our lucky star. She inspires our nights and guides us. The stars she holds tell us that life is filled with hope and joy. This card also symbolizes the unconsciousness. The balance between the material, her feet standing on the ground, and the spiritual, the celestial elements, her crown, and the spangled firmament. Sorry, my eyes just went like cross-eyed. Firmament, which surrounds it. The divinatory meaning: protection, positive influences, spiritual rebirth, divination, intuition, hope, joy, communion with nature, peace, satisfaction, tender and sincere feelings, sensuality, accomplishment, creativity, a reward, prosperity, beauty, and refinement. Like, it just goes on and on. So that's what I mean by too wordy. Like, it's just okay. And then reverse meaning: uncertainties, pipe dreams, idle daydreams, mistrust, obstinacy, frustrated hopes, coldness, insensitivity, lies, reciprocal disinterest, bad luck. Okay, so woo. Both decks that I've shown you are reversible. In fact, I think all 3 of my decks are. I don't read reversals, but you can if you do, as they allow you to. And anyway, so that's the beautiful star card. They remind me a bit of the Londa Tarot, if you're familiar, if you've seen that video on my channel. I'm obsessed. There's a little bit of something that just kind of that essence that I really like. I like this deck so much. It has a very whimsical feel, but it has an adult-like presence in a sense, if that makes sense. It's not overly childlike. Like, it's kid-friendly, but okay, so this is a damaged card that I wrote to the seller and asked for a replacement, and it just basically was a big ink blob. And when I took it off, it ripped, like, it was just damaged from the printer. It just, anyway. And I just drew a little heart there because I'm like, what do I do? It's all ripped there. Anyway, it's just temporary. I'm hoping that I get a replacement card for the 9 of Cups. And I have a backup deck coming as well. The 10 of Swords. I absolutely love this deck. Like, yes, very much so. This is Judgment. Sorry for the glare. The 5 of Swords. It's very Rider-Waite. Look at her. She's stunning. Justice. My hands are all over the place. 9 of Pentacles. I'm going to find my digital camera and the tripod and make videos where, yeah, it's maybe facing downwards onto the cards. 8 of Pentacles. I just love, oh my gosh, look at the Strength card. Isn't that stunning? Oh, Strength, my birth card, yay. Page of Cups. So there's a little bit of, if you're familiar with Brian Froud, a little bit of inspired art from his style. I mean, her style, I think, is very much her own, but if it reminds you of anything, it's for me anyway, it's the Londa Tarot and it's the Brian Froud, and this is the 4 of Wands. Look at this Empress. I love that gothic, like that's such a different Empress to any Empress I've ever seen in any tarot deck. Look at all her babies. Look at her owls. Oh, her children. I love that card. It has such a strong presence. This deck is a feel-good deck. It's an easy to read deck. It's just a deck that is just bright and cheerful and colorful, but it also has like kind of a darker, more mature underlying theme. And certainly if you are familiar with Natalie Hertz's other artwork, you'll see her art style, how dramatic and kind of sexualized or, you know, provocative and even gruesome it can be. I mean that in a bad way, like gruesome, just this, I love this, the Chariot. One of the reasons why I wanted to get this deck, I love seahorses. I love the way the horses are depicted. I forget the breed of these types of horses, but they're just so stunning. Ah, the glare. And the 8 of Wands. Okay, I'm just gonna, oh, the Lovers. I love the Lovers. And the beautiful Queen of Pentacles, and we'll leave it at that. So those are the backs. The box got damaged, so I can't show you that. It was just it's like a standardized tuck box, not very well made at all. I'm going to actually find something to put this in. Oh, I love it. Just so you can get an idea of size. Keep in mind that neither deck is a typical, why do I always, you know, tarot size. So you can see, okay, the wideness or thickness, like this, these are very like long and narrow. And then these are just a nice square. They're just a really nice size. Like I really enjoy the size of these, I have to say. It's a nice laminate finish. In fact, this, I'm surprised, is a US Games product. It reminds me of like a shipper. So, I mean, that may not appeal to everyone. I just wanted to show you, oh, look at the 2 of Swords. I just love these characters. I think that they have a story to share. I mean, I think every tarot deck does, but I really find that appealing. This is not the first print run of it. There was a different box, maybe the original, with a young fairy, and it's a little expensive. So I was happy to find that this was very reasonably priced. I got a second copy for like 27 Canadian, I think. So really reasonable. And then my last but not least tarot deck I'd like to share with you is not that new. And it's one that I bought brand new. It's an out of print deck. You can still come by them. So this one was a bit pricey, but in my opinion, worth every penny. And it is the Nigel Jackson Tarot. It comes in a bigger box that I have stored away. But I would really enjoy this little tuck box that it comes in. I'm very gentle with it though. If I go traveling, I'm gonna put it in like a bag to kind of secure it. So this is the Juggler, which is the Magician. And this is, I think, from the 9 of Cups. Well, there's 9 cups, so yeah. I love this artwork. This is a more masculine feel than the first 2 decks that I showed you. and it is also a male artist. So whereas the other two decks were female artists. So Nigel Jackson, he's done a few decks, and this one is quite a heavy cardstock. It's also laminated, not as glossy as the Fairy Tarot that I just showed you, a bit more of a matte laminate. And these are the backs, the lamniscate. And this is a Llewellyn. So this is from like 19, oh darn, the book is in the big box. Oh, in the book, oh my gosh, I don't have the book with me. It's a really good book, and there's a lot of scientific, like it goes into depth and detail, especially with I think the major arcanas, and it follows the algorithms or something or other. And it was just a little bit, I don't know, it kind of went over my head, but it kind of follows the Rider-Waite, but it's a little different because this suits the swords and the wands have switched. So I can't speak. Swords instead of air is fire, and wands instead of fire is air. So that I don't love that because I've just become so used to the Rider-Waite and the Golden Dawn system. But well, he explains why and everything, and again, based on all that stuff, that just kind of eludes me. But I lost my train of thought. I love these colors. This is not doing it justice. They're beautiful watercolors, and they fan so nicely. These are large cards. I'll give you an idea. Okay, these are a bit like, I'm trying to think. These are a little shorter than average tarot cards and probably a little wider. And these are quite large, and I don't have an issue with that. They are heavy. They are a heavier cardstock. But yeah, let me just show you some. But they're like a little thinner, but they're sturdy. So, but they shuffle really well. I love the two of, what was that? Two of Cups, the Two of Pentacles, the Eight of Swords, Seven of Swords. What is that? Seven of Pentacles. The Page of Coins. So Pentacles is coins, actually. Yeah, I didn't notice that. The Four of Swords. The Nine of Swords. The Three of Staves. Wands of Staves. He's renamed. The King of Staves. It's a very whimsical, again, whimsy type of deck. A different kind of whimsy to the Fairy Tarot. I guess I don't really know if I have a particular type of deck that I'm most drawn to, but it just seems to be that I don't like it when it's too cartoony, but I do like it when there has a very unique element that it's just unlike anything else. I'm just going to quickly, yeah, this video is getting really lengthy, so I'm just going to, this is a great tarot deck. It's a pretty easy reader, I find. Look at the colors, really pretty. Yeah, this is a really great deck. I'll just show you some side by side. It's kind of a soft palette, but there's depth too because of the variation in color. This is really pretty. So those are my three decks right now that I wanted to share with everyone. The Nigel Jackson Tarot, the Tarot of the Golden Wheel, and unfortunately the box, but the Fairy Tarot. And yeah, I'm actually going to go out now and see if I can get a little bag for this wonderful deck. Like, it might be a bit big to put in my bag to carry around with me, but oh, look at it shuffling. I mean, you can shuffle it, rifle shuffling. When I'm more of an overhand shuffler, I just prefer it. And because I don't, gosh, that scared me. Cat outside. Because I don't read reversals, it drives me nuts when they're reversed. So sometimes to recharge the energy of a deck, I'll rifle shuffle the cards and then just turn them all the right way. Okay, let's see what card we are left with today. Ooh, the Ace of Swords. I look at that as integrity. I look at that as honesty and clear thinking and overcoming obstacles. So we'll leave it on that. Beautiful. Okay. Yay, Fairy Tarot. I think that one might be my favorite of the three at the moment. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed my little quick, well, not so quick show and tell. And I will see everybody very, very soon. I feel like I need to make a video again very soon, and I will, I promise. So thank you so much again for watching Tamara's Tarot and Oracle channel, and I'll see everybody very, very soon. Bye.